Hello, YouTubers. Joe here of Joe and Paul on May 9th at 3:15 in the afternoon. Um, it's been a very benign series of days here lately, which is a blessing, believe you me. Um, Yesterday, Wednesday, I went up to the Bible group, and unlike a lot of the more recent encounters, which basically saw me not going for 3 weeks. I went last week and I went this week, so I've been back 2 weeks, and I intend to keep coming back, of course. But occasionally everybody needs a break from, well, occasionally everybody needs a break, don't they? We had a very good discussion. I fully expected Revelation to be poo-pooed, and John to be poo-pooed, God's agency in the Acts story of the earthquake at Philippi to be poo-pooed, but no. Had a very, very good encounter, and during the Revelation discussion, and then also during the John discussion, we got talking about icons and boundary experiences with God and windows into the divine, and so that was good. Now I coordinate our prayer group. It's been handed off to me since last November, and as often is the case, you hear things. The old saw is things come in threes, and uh, so forth. But this does seem to be the case when people, have afflictions and need people to pray for them. We've had a number of people here just in the last, in the last 5 days, where I have to send out updates and this, that, and the other, and I got looking back through my records. I've got my email set up so that I can do that fairly easily, and it'd be interesting to, at the end of the year, do sort of like a graph, because I imagine you're going to have sort of a zzz, and then peak, then you have zzz, then peak, and zzz, and then peak, in terms of things happening that people want people prayed about for. Just an interesting, I thought it was a very interesting observation. We had a guy that fell down and almost got scalped. Had a woman who basically was in what I like to call a mash and smash. Broke her pelvis in 3 places, and had to pump her full of blood, because you'll lose 2 or 3 units of blood or more in a pelvic fracture. So she had 3 of them. So essentially, she's losing her whole blood volume into her pelvis. She had a long bone fracture. There's another unit and a half, 2 units. Had a mashed chest. Although interestingly, she didn't end up on the vent, and she was 72 hours out from her injury today, and they're moving her into a step down unit. So perhaps this mashed chest wasn't quite as bad as was advertised. So had that. I woke up this morning early, as I often do, 3 o'clock, 2:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then another person had, her daughter's boyfriend had been, taken off to the pest house with abdominal pain, and they don't know what's wrong. So I mean, that's the kind of stuff. So today, this morning, after it became daylight, and Paul went to work. Uh, excuse me. I decided I better clean out the sinks, the two sink wells we have, because well, they just become filled with dirty stuff. Yeah, and Paul brings home all this food in these various plastic reusable containers, and that's wonderful. I mean, this hotel has been feeding us for the last 2.5 years. Well, a little over 2 years now. As I said, I just buy some canned stuff to supplement it, and so when we empty one, I just put it in the sink. Empty one, put it in the sink. So when it finally comes up, and then when I finally start putting it into the second well, then that's that's when I wash these things. So I put towels all over the table where I usually put the computer in the morning and wash these things. And I let them air dry. I may have to finally finish drying them later on this afternoon, but as my dad always said, dishes dry themselves. And they do. They really do. So then I've been out here on the deck enjoying the day, and of course, you read the Wall Street Journal online, and you deal with the email, and then I hadn't had time to catch up on these various YouTube folks I like to look at here the last couple of days because of all the hurly-burly. And so I've been going through a number of these folks, and well, it's fun, isn't it? It's fun. Yeah, I can tell you all about the ash trees that are living and the ash trees that are dying, but we can do more of that anon, but not today. I think that's basically it. Prayer group, Bible group, prayer group, dishes, on the porch, looking at YouTube. So that's my adventure for the last few days. Alrighty now, bye-bye.